Hey everybody, Dr. Albert Snow here. I'm a holistic gastroenterologist. I'm the inventor of the GI Cure protocol that will heal any inflammatory bowel condition. Notice I didn't say disease. I want to talk a minute about acid reflux, one of the toughest GI issues to fix, even holistically. There is no non-holistic treatment that will be effective other than you take your proton pump inhibitors, and we know what happens then. So here's how you fix it. I developed this many years ago as an experiment, and it worked. When you take pills for, say, gastrointestinal issues like probiotics, they're in a capsule, and you swallow them, and they go down into the stomach, right through the esophagus. And of course, our problem is at the esophagus when we have acid reflux. Another thing I want to demyth is that acid, they say, is not supposed to go up the esophagus. BS. It's supposed to go up there all day, up and down, up and down. You don't have too much acid. You have too little protective coating called the mucosal lining, which is like Vaseline sticking to the walls of the esophagus. And you'll have too little of it, and that'll allow acid to make contact with the skin of the esophagus in this three layers, skin, fat, and muscle. And every time the acid goes up and down, if you don't have enough mucosal lining, it eats away and erodes a little deeper hole until it goes deep enough to hit a nerve. You don't feel any pain until it hits a nerve, and by then you know you have a hole. It's technically an ulcer, same as you have in the stomach. I got interrupted here by a phone call, so let me just disable that. Okay, sorry, nothing goes right. It's always Murphy's Law, right? So we have our esophagus, and you have the mucosal lining. You take an antibiotic at some point in your life, and the antibiotic does what? Kills off bacteria, kills off some of the good bacteria in the esophagus. You get a thin layer or none. You have a patch where there's no layer of protective coating. Acid goes in there. Acid is supposed to go up and down. I always keep repeating that. That's a myth that drug companies produce, where they have these elaborate commercials showing a hatch. They'll say that there's a sphincter at the end of the esophagus that is a flap that shouldn't be opening. Total bullshit. It really is, and it's simply bullshit. It's not even complicated. The flap is supposed to open down. It's like saying a drawbridge isn't supposed to open up and let the ship through. Give me a break. So anyways, when the acid goes up and down, if there's not enough coating, you get burning. If there is coating, you don't feel anything. Okay, so if you have this problem, you don't have enough coating. What do we do? Okay, everyone says probiotics. I even say probiotics to fix our acid reflux, not our acid reflux, our GI issues. This guy won't give up. So acid reflux needs to be fixed by doing this. You can't take the regular stuff you take to fix the lower GI problems. The lower GI problems like IBS, colitis, and ulcer in the gut, those are all the same thing. They're a lack of mucosal lining allowing acid to penetrate and eat a hole in the wall of your stomach or your bowel. It's all the same thing caused by an antibiotic. It just so happens the esophagus up there, poor esophagus says, well, you swallowed some probiotic pills and they're going down the stomach. What about us? Okay, it can take a long time and get to go through the bloodstream and get delivered back up the esophagus, and it's a slow process. We get around that. I figured out how to fix that, how to do it properly, because the poor esophagus doesn't get the benefit of the probiotic. And if you just take a powder probiotic, it's going to go through too. You need to do this. Think about this. This is how I developed it. This is how primitive I am. If you drink a glass of milk, you could almost envision some of that milk residue coating inside of the esophagus and leaving a residue. It's just milk, and eventually it'll just sort of slide down. If you drink a glass of water or eat something, it'll push it down and won't stick. Liquid probiotic. There are companies that make probiotics in a liquid form. So what I said was, wait a minute, like the milk concept. If we drink that, it's going to leave a residue. It's essentially like really watery yogurt with some special strains of bacteria, and it's going to stick there, but only under one condition. Anytime you take a probiotic, you have to take something called colostrum with it. Colostrum is a natural sticky like glue that sticks to the wall of, in this case, the esophagus, and then the probiotic sticks to that. If you take any probiotic, I don't care what one it is, and you don't take colostrum with it, in the toilet. I don't know any toilets that have any IBS or colitis, because that's where it's going. And so if you take the liquid, it's an inside secret, inside scoop. If you take the liquid, which is itself innovative, but you stick a little bit of colostrum powder in there, shake it up, okay? Now you got the glue right in there with the probiotic. Take a swig. That's one of my favorite things. Swig. Tablespoon, sure, you can take a tablespoon twice a day, or just a good swig. And what you do, swallow it, it goes down, it's got the colostrum, it's going to stick, and the probiotic stuck to that. What's it going to do? Grow a nice thick mucosal lining. You do that for about a month. You very well might find a difference in the first swig, but you do it about a month, and guess what? There really isn't anything else you need to do. That's the secret. That's how I broke the code of fixing acid reflux. I don't know of any other naturopath who ever fixes that. I know I couldn't do it without this. I discovered about the probiotic, and I apply it to anywhere where we need to build a mucosal lining. The strategy is probiotic colostrum, stick to the tissue anywhere down the rectum, anywhere in between that and the mouth, and that's how you fix it. And you do it for about a month. And if you get partial results, you say, well, you know, I'm better, definitely, but not completely, do it another month. I'd say it's 50-50. A lot of people actually feel major relief the first time. Now, here's another secret. I didn't say this, or we didn't get results. No food or drink for at least an hour afterwards. No food or drink. So you take a swig. It doesn't matter what you do before. It's after. Why? We don't want to wash it away. So you take it and say, I'm going to get a glass of water. It's going to wash away, because it needs about an hour to adhere enough to the wall of the esophagus to grab, so it's just clinging on, so when you eat or drink something, it doesn't wash it away. You know, it'd be best if you actually took a couple hours. You know, I should really describe it that way. An hour might be a little bit short. A couple hours, anywhere from 3 or 4 hours. You're going to get, the longer you go, you're going to get more adherence, where it's going to grab on there, and then the food and drink afterwards won't wash it away. Do that twice a day. Nothing else needs to be done for the condition. So acidophilus, liquid acidophilus, also known as a liquid probiotic. If you're looking for it in stores, American Health is one company. I don't know, I think they're the original manufacturer, and they have their own brand, but any good health food store, Whole Foods, should have it. Okay, put about how much colostrum you're saying. They're all saying, how much colostrum? You put about a tablespoon in there. You're going to have to take a swig probably, or two, of the liquid probiotic, just to get it enough room to put the, here they come again, they won't give up. You have to put enough in there so that it'll, take a swig out, I should say, so you have room to put the colostrum in there. And then every time you do it, you don't have to keep putting that in there. You've got the colostrum in there because you've shook it up real good. You don't need a lot. You don't have to keep putting that in there every time. You just go pick it up again this afternoon, another swig, put it down tomorrow morning, just shake it up always. And another secret about liquid probiotic. Geographic tongue. None of you have heard of that, right? It's when you have all these bumps all over your tongue. It's like risen. What do you do with that? Colloidal silver. That's one of the secrets. Colloidal silver. What you do is you get colloidal silver. It's liquid. Any health food store will have it. You put like about a teaspoon and enough water. Just all you need is enough water so you can gargle with it. That's all you really need. If you have any kind of sores in your mouth, canker sores, you know, anything that comes with soreness, or, you know, blisters of any kind, so you swallow it, and with the water, you put about a teaspoon in any amount of water you need. No, it doesn't matter, just enough to gargle with it. Swallow, swish around in your mouth, you know, good 30 seconds, swallow it. What's that do? It's a natural antibiotic. It kills off whatever's in there, and then, bad breath actually, and then what happens is that you take later on, you take a liquid probiotic, swish around, even if you don't have the heartburn issue, swish around, swallow it. No drink or food for at least an hour afterwards, because we want to let it stick to the gums in the inner cheek. There's a lot of other applications for that combination, and I'll share those later. But for today was really about acid reflux, how to get rid of it. Give it 30 days, check it out. If it's still there, give it another 30, and I bet it'll be gone.